Do you feel the vibes?
Okay, so as opposed to tangent then, if we go down to cotangent, right? Now cotangent is cosine over sine. That means wherever sine of x equals 0, cotangent is undefined, right? So it's undefined where sine of x is equal to 0. And if we look on the unit circle, where is sine of x 0? 0 and pi and 2 pi and 3 pi and so on, right? So 0 plus or minus pi plus or minus 2 pi and so on. So at these points, oh, this is a typo. The graph of cotangent x has vertical asymptotes. All right, so how does that translate to what we're going to do? The period of the cotangent is again pi, but now it starts from 0 and goes to pi, right? 0 to pi. And do you see the center point here? Unlike the tangent, it goes down to the right and up to the left. So it's opposite. Do not say it's a reflection because the interval is also different, right? So it would have been a reflection if this also went from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, but it doesn't. This goes from 0 to pi. So it's an entirely different thing, okay? All right, so the period, to recap, the period of the cotangent is pi. The initial cycle starts at 0 and ends at pi, which means to graph a cotangent function, we have to do the inequality from 0 to pi. All right? This automatically solves for the asymptotes, and everything else is more or less the same. So let's take a look at this one. Cotangent of x plus pi over 2. The period is pi over 1, which is pi. Okay? So let's see how we're going to graph this one. All right, so we're going to go from 0 to pi. Okay, this is different from all the other ones. Inside, we're going to put x plus pi over 2. Right? So now, what do I do? Minus pi over 2 from everywhere. So here I get negative pi over 2, x, pi minus pi over 2, right? So if you multiply this by 2 and 2, this will be pi over 2. So here we go. Okay, so the asymptotes are x equals plus or minus pi over 2. All right, so here we go. This is negative pi over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, pi over 2. 0 in the middle. And then here I got pi over 4, negative pi over 4. This is very similar to the homework that you guys did. All right, asymptote 1, asymptote 2. Center point is at 0. Now, oh, this is also where the y-axis is. And let's scale that y-axis, up 1, minus 1. Okay, now, to the right, this is cotangent. Go down 1. To the left, go up 1. Okay, make sure you cross through the points. So this is why I do them separately, so you are like really familiar with tangent, and then we can switch things around. Okay, So here we go. Now we have negative cotangent 2x. All right. So what's the period here? Pi over 2. Okay, so now we're going to go from 0 to pi. And inside I'm going to put 2x. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So we are going from 0 to pi over 2. So asymptotes are 0, x equals 0, x equals pi over 2. Okay, so here we go. All right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, pi over 2. Y-axis goes at the 0. Okay, look at this blue point, smack in the middle of 0 and pi over 2. That's pi over 4. Is everybody okay with how to find that point? This one is halfway between 0 and pi over 4. So remember, if you get confused, do it that way. So this is half of pi over 4, pi over 8. Okay, this green one is going to be a bit tricky. This is halfway between pi over 4 and pi over 2. Is it? So we got to make a common denominator. Multiply this by 2, right? To make it 4. So now I get half of, what do we get here? Pi plus 2 pi? 3 pi over 4. So then it'll be 3 pi over 8. So go through that process. Or you can do it with your calculator, right? But without the pi. Don't put the pi. But if you do it with your calculator, I don't want any decimal answers. I don't want 0.425 or whatever, right? I want, or 0.475, okay? Any questions on this? Okay, now let's put the asymptotes. Okay, one of the asymptotes is on the 0. So just put it like a hairline away so it's visible. And then the other one is at pi over 2. Okay. Center point is here. Now, tangent goes down to the right. But I have a negative. That means it's going to go where to the right? Up and down here. Okay? So in your mind, don't start comparing to tangent. Do each one separately, right? Just remember that cotangent goes down, and then if it's negative, you got to go back up. Okay. Oh, look at this one. Oh, so many fun ones. Down to the right. Okay, so take a look at this one. Negative 2 cotangent 3x minus pi. Okay, what's the period, by the way? Right. All right, so here we go. We're going to go from 0 to pi and put in 3x minus pi. Add pi everywhere. Right? Then what? Pi, 3x, 2 pi. So here we get pi over 3, x. Okay. Let's go to the next one. I'm sorry, let's go to the axis. So here we go. Pi over 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 pi over 3. Okay. So this middle one, right? Okay, this is halfway between pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. So this is halfway of 3 pi over 3. What's 3 pi over 3? Pi. So this is pi over 2. All right. Now, why don't you take out your calculators? Let's do the rest with the calculator, right? But write it down correctly first. Half of pi over 3 plus pi over 2. And then you're going to plug it in without the pi's. So the way you're going to plug it in is, look at how I do it so it's quick. So you're going to do half of, which is 0.5, and then do this fraction, control divide, 1 over 3 plus 1 over 2. Do you see that? Now, when you get this, how do you make it into a fraction? Do you guys know how to make it into a fraction? No, so you're going to go to menu, number, approximate to fraction, right? So then it's 5 over 12. Yeah, if you put 1/2, it'll give it to you like that. So now let's do that. So why don't we do control divide 1/2 times in parentheses. Oh yeah, so this one is going to be half of pi over 2 and 2 pi over 3. Right? So half of pi over 2 plus 2 pi over 3. So half of 1/2. Oops. 1/2 plus 2/3. Oh my gosh. It keeps going in the... Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right? 7 pi over 12. And that's really, I think, the more like complicated part. And then we just put the asymptote. Asymptote. All right, let's see. Center goes in the middle. Now it's -2. So to the right, instead of going down, I'm going to go up 2 and then down 2 this way. Cool? Okay. Now, take a look at this next one. Now I have... No, not for that one. Now I have cotangent of 3x plus 4. This plus 4 shifts the graph upward. All right? So instead of it being on the axis here, go up 4 units, and we're going to put it here. Right? There's going to be a new axis there. Okay, we're going up 4. So now let's see. This is cotangent. Yeah. Because it's like a imaginary new axis. From 0 to pi, we put in 3x. Divide by 3. We're going to go from 0 to pi over 3. Where's the actual x-axis? Is it the solid or the dashed? Solid. So that's what I'm going to label, right? I'm going to go from 0 to pi over 3. Okay, so now take a minute and label the additional 3 points here. You ready? I'm going to give you a minute. On your mark, get set, go. So the points are going to be pi over 12, pi over 6, pi over 4. Okay, so now put in your asymptotes. Let's first put the y-axis. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to put one asymptote next to the y-axis, one asymptote here. Okay, now, this is a cotangent. It's shifted up 4. So the center point is going to be up there at the 4, right? Right over here. Now from there, this is cotangent. Does it go up or down to the right? Down to the right, up to the left, and then we did go off the grid a little bit. I should have just done it by 2s, or I should have started from the bottom, okay? What you would do is either go up by 2s, or you could like just put this on the bottom and just do it that way. Huh? No, it's just 1, 1. It doesn't go with that. Okay. All right, the last two are tangents because, you know, we gotta, now that everything is spinning in our head, let's make things spin a little bit more, right? So here we go. This one has a vertical shift down 3, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the x-axis a little bit higher, and then we're gonna go down 3, 1, 2, 3. That's where the new axis is gonna be, okay? Now what are we going to do? This is tangent. So we're going to go from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Inside, we put 2x. Divide by 2 is the same as multiply by 1 over 2. So negative pi over 4, x pi over 4. Negative pi over 4, pi over 4. Okay, asymptote. Asymptote. 0 is going to go in the middle, right? That's where the y-axis goes. Okay. Let's do the graph first, then we'll put the additional points. So now the center point is going to be on the axis, but look, it's shifted down 3. So I start here, right? Now, tangent would normally go up 1. This is negative tangent, so it goes down 1. And here we go. Cute. So this is negative pi over 8, pi over 8. Okay. One last one. Oh, the asymptotes are negative and positive pi over 4. So x equals plus or minus pi over 4. Did I write asymptotes here? I didn't. Asymptote is x equals 0, x equals pi over 3. Oh my gosh, I missed all the asymptotes. Pi over 3, and x equals 2 pi over 3. Okay. Last one, yay! Huh? Because it's a tangent. So the period for tangent and cotangent is pi, but the limits for tangent, it goes from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, cotangent 0 to pi. Yeah. Yes, but this is a negative. Yes, it's a reflection. Right? There's a reflection here. Oh my gosh, why can't I highlight that? Right there, right? Yeah, yeah. I was having fun making these problems. All right, here's another one. Now it's positive tangent, x minus pi minus 1. So what does that minus 1 do? Shifts it down 1 unit. So if I have my x-axis here, -1 is down here. That's where I'm going to graph. Okay, now, limits are negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. X minus pi in the middle. So now I'm going to add pi. Add pi. So what do I have over here? I have negative pi over 2 plus pi. Right? I'm just doing that on my scratch paper. I got to multiply top and bottom by 2. So how much will that be? It'll be negative pi over 2 here. Oh no, pi over 2. X, 3 pi over 2. Okay. Let me put the asymptotes, then we'll put the other points. Right, so the center point is going to be down here. So this is tangent and it's positive. So to the right, do I go up 1 or down 1? Up 1. And then here I go down 1. All right? Are you guys okay with putting the points in the middle? Or not so much? So for this one, right? Yeah, so the middle one would be half pi over 2 plus 3 pi over 2. Half 4 pi over 2. So that'll just be pi. Okay, so what are the asymptotes here? X equals pi over 2. X equals 3 pi over 2. All right, go ahead and put those other points, and then we are done with this. And like homework is another worksheet, so we'll really get these things down.